Hey, what's happening? It's Bill Smith. A lot of stuff has happened in the last 24 hours, so I want to do a quick rundown of some of the biggest breaking news stories in the last day or two. The Dan Harmon stuff is still trending. QAnon has kind of gone mainstream, and Twitter has been facing some backlash for the shadow banning stuff they were doing. So the most interesting thing that I saw today was that if you go to Twitter and you type in hashtag Q, okay, you don't get this QAnon search tag. It doesn't even show up. And this is like, there's a lot of content, man, being tagged QAnon. So, what up with that? You start typing in, you're telling me that more people are looking for Qatar 2022, Conda, and Qatar than QAnon? That just, no. And then this Qantas, there's just no possible way. QAnon, more people are looking for QAnon with an S than without it. More people are looking for QAnon 8chan space hashtag QAnon than just QAnon. Look, it doesn't even show up. You can type the whole thing in, it doesn't even show up. All right, so I was doing this thing. I was checking my name over the last 2 weeks. My name doesn't even show up in this search. But today it started showing back up. So there it is. So there used to be a real Bill Smith 1 with underscores. I don't know how this one would show up, but not my name. It just didn't for a while. Neither did a culturalism and a bunch of other people I was looking for. Their names wouldn't show up. I showed you yesterday that Dan Harmon's name will show up in this search tag, but if you go to make a tweet about hashtag Dan Harmon, you can't use predictive search at all to get it. So yeah, they play games here. They play games. Okay, but that's good news. I got my name back today on the search. Fantastic. All right, so let's get some answers, right? So I typed in hashtag QAnon, right? And we looked. This is the interesting thing. It's QAnon or at Jack. Like, isn't he kind of like a QAnon enemy? So it's QAnon versus at Jack here at the top under people. Pick your poison. What do you want to go look at? So I chose poorly and I chose at Jack. And I figured let's check out some later, let's check out his posts. I never look at this guy's posts. And I saw this. So following up on this with a lot more detail, we don't shadow ban. We certainly don't shadow ban based on political viewpoints. We do rank tweets by default to make Twitter more immediately relevant, which can be flipped off. I didn't know that. All right, so let's go learn how to use Twitter better. It links to this. Let's go check this out. So this blog post just got posted yesterday. It's by two people I don't know. I guess they work for Twitter. It says they don't shadow ban. Right. I came down here. And here's the answer that we're looking for. What happened this week? Yesterday, we identified an issue where some accounts weren't auto-suggested in search. There it is. Even when people were searching for their specific name. And I've documented this already. This is in like 4 videos that I've done. To be clear, this only impacted our search auto-suggestions. The accounts, their tweets, and surrounding conversation about those accounts were showing up in search results. As of yesterday afternoon, this issue was resolved. Now here's my question. It didn't impact everybody. Okay, so if some people showed up in that search box and some people's handles didn't, then what was the difference between those accounts? Was it content they had posted? Was it their friends and user base? This is a common complaint. It was brought up on Trump's Twitter feed, I think, yesterday or 2 days ago, and then they came out and addressed it. So it's all over the news, man. They had to issue a statement. If they didn't get public pressure, they wouldn't have had to say anything. All right? I'll talk more about that here in a second. I'm saying that the accounts that were targeted, I was on that list. I didn't show up. They were doing something that got them flagged. There is some sort of flag or check inside of Twitter's Vertica database that manages aggregations of all these accounts. They use a data warehouse. They use the biggest Vertica data warehouse in the world. That's what Twitter uses. So there's flags on all the stuff. I mean, they have the data. They made the choice based on something. So what was that something? Okay, so point 1 says how many people were impacted by the search auto-suggest issue. Hundreds of thousands of accounts were impacted. This impact was not limited to a certain political affiliation or geography, and to be clear, these accounts were only impacted with search auto-suggestions. They still appeared in search results. This issue has now been resolved. How was it resolved? How did it happen? Was it a bug? Was it on purpose? Did someone activate something they shouldn't have? What happened? It doesn't say. Here's number 2, though. Quote, it looks like this only affected Republican politicians. Were Democrat politicians also impacted? Yes, some Democratic politicians were not properly showing up within the search auto-suggestions as a result of the issue. As mentioned above, the issue was broad-ranging. Okay, you got to believe him, right? Okay, so there was a search auto-suggest issue, but what caused these Republican representatives to be impacted? For the most part, we believe the issue had more to do with how other people were interacting with these representatives' accounts than the accounts themselves. That's a lie. There's no automated trigger, okay? There's no automated trigger that would just block hundreds of thousands of accounts from showing up in the search box. Real accounts, okay? My account did not show up in that search box for weeks. I reported on it. There are communities that try to boost each other's presence on the platform through coordinated engagement. We believe these types of actors engaged with the representatives' accounts. The impact of this coordinated behavior, in combination with our implementation of search auto-suggestions, caused the representatives' accounts to not show up in the auto-suggestions. So I just want to make this clear. We're not talking about Democratic representatives, Democratic politicians not showing up in the search box. They're specifically talking about Republican representatives. Enough to call it out on a third bullet point. So they can glaze over it here on the second point, but the third point is where the meat's at. There were people in the House of Representatives not showing up in that search box. They do not want you to go see them. Just like they don't want you to tweet out hashtag Dan Harmon. They don't want you doing that. Okay? It's apparent. That's what they do. It's all good. Not a problem, though. We get around it. We're winning. Okay, let me make that clear. We're winning. Anytime they have to doctor a search result or ban somebody online, that is a win for us. I know it looks like a loss because you're like, oh my God, we lost that person. But you know about the person getting kicked off the internet, then we can all rally behind that person. Here's some evidence that it works. Okay, SGTReport got his channel back. I think his name is Sean. I've actually had a few of my videos linked on his personal webpage. So if his YouTube channel ever goes down, SGTReport.com is where you can find Sean and his work. Now, I think once you get over here, it's up to him to link you to his backup channels. Here's some stuff that you can go support him on Patreon if you'd like to help out. I think he's self-funded. You know, most of us are. I mean, I don't even have ads on my station. I've never made a dime from anything I've done on YouTube, ever. But I also don't have a website. You know, I don't have a big... He edits all his videos. This guy does a good job, right? So maybe you don't agree with his viewpoint, but it's important that we protect each other in our community. If somebody goes down, we got to get them back up, even if you don't agree with their viewpoint. Okay? Because YouTube is kicking them off, regardless of if they agree with you or not. So, thank you to everybody that tweeted to YouTube, tweeted to YouTube's leadership, sent letters, did videos. Anybody that got the word out about SGTReport losing his channel because you made a difference. Okay? We got him back up. Here's his channel right here. All of his subscriber base is still there, and he still has his official checkbox. Verified. So, congratulations to Sean. Now, I want to talk about this for a second. This happened too. It looks like Facebook just hit Alex Jones with a suspension. Gizmodo calls it, quote, half-assed. Obviously, Gizmodo is not for the truth community. They are a mainstream publication. Don't trust anything they say. You know, while I'm at it, don't trust anything that I say. I mean, half the time, I don't know either. I'm just going off of mainstream media reports or things I found on people's Twitter accounts. You know, that's really what I'm presenting to you. It's the same thing that you have access to. So, verify, verify, verify. What I find weird about this is he also got suspended. Here's an article about him on Facebook, the 30-day suspension. I don't know the details about this, but he violated the ever-present community standards. Okay? Ever-present. Can't violate those community standards. I don't know how to not violate them, you know? Things that I don't think would ever violate anything do, and things that I think would be in total violation don't. So, you got me, man. What is a community standard? They don't say. They never say. It always comes down to whether or not they like what you said or not, and if it's a problem. If it's a problem and they don't like it, you're gone, bruh. So, I don't like Alex Jones. I think he's a liar and a hypocrite, and I think he's done a lot for our movement, but I think he's done. I don't think we need him anymore. I think he was a gatekeeper for a really long time to keep people from getting closer to the truth. He's kind of an Israeli blockade, if you will, in the truth community. So, I think Alex Jones and InfoWars have served their purpose. I think the torch has been passed to more independent, level-headed people who are willing to, reach, try to be ahead of the curve. Alex Jones says things just because he has to. So that's my take on him. But at the same time, I think we should support him. Now, we should support him because he's done a lot. We got to keep him around. Number one, this guy is like, because he's the leader, right? Because he was the gatekeeper, the mainstream media gatekeeper for the truth community. He's the mainstream media spokesman for what we do, pretty much. So I think we just put him out in front and let him take all the bullets, so to speak, from the mainstream media, and then we make sure that we use him as a barometer. We see what they're doing to him, and then we make corrections. I don't know what to think about YouTube's relationship with Alex Jones because I've never heard of this happening. I had 2 strikes in 2 days, and I almost had a 3rd strike because I reported on the Parkland shooting. Actually, all of those results. Look, watch this. If you're on a mobile, look down, if you can see this. I can't say these sounds. Like these 4 sounds put together into YouTube. Like YouTube will process my video, and if I say these 4 syllables together, I'll get a strike. Okay? So this is what's going on. There's some things that you can't even say, right? You can't touch that content, otherwise, you'll be issued a strike. When they give you a strike, they are serious. All right? I had a 2-week suspension. I know other people just straight up lost their channels. I've never heard of somebody having 4 videos removed and only getting 1 strike. Okay? So Alex Jones's YouTube channel has like 2.5 million subscribers. It's not in danger. Okay? It is not in danger. If they kick Alex Jones off YouTube, they got a much bigger problem on their hands, because we got this guy reinstated and he's only got 350,000 subs. They can't go after Alex Jones. Okay? So this was a way for them to remove some problem videos, keep him from live streaming for 90 days, and also keep him on the platform. If Alex Jones ejects, he'll take normal people, the more normal people, mainstreamers in the truth community, he'll take all them to another platform. And YouTube can't risk that. Okay? If something like BitChute starts to take off, YouTube will have a problem because the truth community drives about 20%, I think 18 to 20% of YouTube, all their activity. 20% of it is what we're doing here in these conversations. So if Alex Jones is ejected, they have a major problem to handle. Okay, so I just want to say this again. This is what winning looks like. We are winning. Okay, understand that. we're winning. It doesn't mean that we're not still up against something big. Until next time, this is Bill Smith. Thanks for watching.